'cause I haven't been myself since you said goodbye to me. Yes, I wrote my gal a letter, and this is what I had to say. Yes, I wrote my gal.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, anytime you hear them ravens come through the door, you know we got another good show coming on. Sit back, relax, get you a nail keg or a slop bucket. Sit back and enjoy yourself. We got a fine little lady with us today, a big surprise. So, Raven's going to talk to us a little bit here.
Baby, let me hear from you right away. Yes, let me hear from you, baby. Please let me hear from you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you there, boys. We're going to cut you off and talk here. This is MPLstudio13.com. Coming straight out of the beautiful city of downtown Millington, Tennessee. And we got a unique guest going to surprise you right here. We don't know how we pulled this off, but this little lady was gracious and kind enough to come out here. And her name is, what is your name?
My name's Nikki Boertman.
Okay, Nikki Boertman, all right? And what is so unique about her is she is one of the best photographers in the South around here. So you all seen her on TV if you ever watch a Grizzlies game. But ladies and gentlemen, what we try to do is a bunch of kids out there need a little help. They're growing up out there where they can sing, play the guitar, the piano, where they in the arts. So we're going to try to help them. So anyway, y'all tune us in there and you know how to get to us. But Nikki's going to talk to us about photography today. And she was real busy, but she was kind enough to come out here to Millington, pass along a little information. Maybe we might be able to help some kid that's wanting to get into photography or they want to save some money, and we'll talk about that later. So, Nikki, thank you so much for coming out here today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Well, tell the folks what you do.
I am a staff photographer for the Commercial Appeal in Memphis, Tennessee, and I cover the Memphis Grizzlies for them.
All right, so is that your primary responsibility then?
My primary beat is the Memphis Grizzlies, but I do a little bit of everything.
Okay, well, what else do you do?
Sometimes food, fashion, portraits of people in the community, festivals, parades, fairs, whatever needs photographing the moments in people's lives.
Oh, so you just go wherever you need it to?
Wherever they want me to go. Primarily it's the Grizzlies. If the Grizzlies are playing, that's what I do.
That's top priority right now, the Grizzlies, right?
Most certainly is, especially this time of year.
Well, one thing I thought was unique about it, and maybe some of you folks out there might not have caught on this, but little lady right here, most of the time, you know, it's a male-dominated something when you go to the ball games, but we got a fine little lady. She's just as sweet and nice as she can be. Ain't big around as your arm, but anyway, you can see her down there and wrestling around trying to get her a good picture made. So we try to help all these youngsters. So, but tell somebody out there that might be interested in photography, Nikki, how did you get interested in it?
I was actually a physical therapy major in sport to begin with in college. I was interested in sports. I always loved sports. My parents were both race car drivers. And growing up, we always had a game on the TV. Sunday afternoons, football, basketball, baseball, it didn't matter. Our home was always the gathering place to watch sports for our family. So I thought physical therapy would be a good way that I could be involved in the sports world. And when I was in college, they told me that human anatomy course that we had in our program was the toughest class that I would have. So I took photography to offset it. I said, well, let me just get something fun, something that wouldn't take much time, something easy. And it ended up being the most time-consuming class that I ever had in college, and one of the most difficult ones to get through, but it changed my entire life.
So where'd you go to college?
Grand Valley State University in Michigan.
Okay, whereabouts in Michigan?
It's outside of Grand Rapids.
Oh, okay. The reason I asked you that, I've been in Michigan a few times, you know. A little cold up there, but anyway, so when you were, where'd you go to, say, grammar school there in hometown?
I went to Gustafson That was a long time ago. I forget how you say it exactly. But that was my elementary school, and I went to Orchard View Middle School and Reese Puffer High School.
Okay. How many brothers or sisters you got in your family?
I have one older brother. That's my full brother. I have a younger half-sister and a whole lot of steps.
Okay, okay. Well, you got a big family then, so, all right, so your mom and daddy was into race car driving. Well, I'm sure you know that we got a real good friend of mine, Clay Milton, right up the road there that's into race car driving. We followed him. I'm learning about them getting out in mud holes, that ET stuff, and don't hit the Christmas tree or whatever they do, and don't hit the wall, and don't spill the oil and stuff, so I'm learning that kind of stuff. So, why, when you were in college, so, and you went to this photography class, is that when you got interested in photography?
It actually wasn't. I went through Photo 1 and wasn't going to take Photo 2, and some of my classmates really thought I should. They thought that I had kind of a talent for it, and they liked hanging out together. It was fun. But it wasn't until I shot a football game for the school newspaper, and I actually didn't want to work for them either.
This college?
College.
Okay.
They asked me to shoot for the school newspaper, and I said, no thank you, I'm an art photographer. I had this preconceived notion in my head of what I wanted to do in photography. And they said, just come out, shoot a football game on Saturday, and if you don't like it, we'll leave you alone. I said, all right, I can do that. And there was a young man who had been in photography since junior high, and he was the other photographer that was there, and it was expected that he was going to get the picture that was going to run in the paper the next day, because this is my first game ever.
Yeah.
Well, I got the picture in the paper the next day.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was actually the competitive spirit in me that I thought, well, goodness, I can get out here and beat boys. You know, I can be better than them and get the photo. And it was actually the competitive nature of photography that I really loved.
Well, I imagine, didn't that probably have something to do with your parents being competitive in the race car driving and different things, so. All right, I'll tell you what we're gonna do right now. Nikki, we're gonna come in here and gonna play you a little song here that, about, I don't know, it's probably a long time before you was ever born. I guess you probably have to go back to your mom and daddy, might have enjoyed it. It's called, about 5 seconds in the Still of the Night, so. Man, it don't get no better than that. I don't care where you are or who you are. I start dancing here in a minute. Got these old type rock songs. Those records, all of your mind. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, right there, the 5 Satin Still Tonight, like 100 years ago. We hope you enjoyed that. Nikki said she really liked that, her mom and daddy did too. So ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Nikki Boertman right here. She's a photographer down there at the Commercial Appeal, and mighty fine young lady took the time to come out here. So Nikki, when you was growing up in your, say in high school, did you kind of go with the flow as far as what your kids and your friends and your neighbors and everything y'all playing together? So I was kind of interested. You didn't get your interest in college, so that was kind of interesting there. So.
It was, but I was always a cheerleader, and I always wanted to really understand sports a lot. So from a young age, I remember in 6th grade, we would go to the varsity football games, and I would sit with the football players, and they would tell me, you know, the I formation and everything. They would tell me what was going on the field, and learning about the different positions and everything that certain people are responsible for, what a team has to do. And so that, I guess, helped a lot with what I eventually ended up doing in sports photography.
So you know what, when you take a picture, or film, flick it, one thing or another, whatever you do, and stuff's kind of complicated. Me push that button so I can get into all that. But now you came from Michigan. Now there's a long way between Memphis and Michigan. How in the world did you get to Memphis?
Memphis called me. The editor, when the Commercial Appeal found out that they were getting the Grizzlies were coming to Memphis.
Okay.
They had heard of me and called me up and asked if I would like to come down and interview for their job, and I said no, thank you very much. I'm happy where I'm at. And you know, they wouldn't take no for an answer and called me down, and so here I am all these years later.
Okay, well, do you work for the sports department? I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen, how this thing works. But do you work for the is there a photography section of the Commercial Appeal, or is it a sports section? Which one do you work for?
There's an editorial department that does mostly news, there's a sports department that does sports, and there's a photo department that services everybody. So some days I might shoot sports, some days I might do something for Metro or news, or even the features department. But we're different than sports, but that's primarily my emphasis.
Okay. That's one thing that I'm always curious about, Nick, is when you whether it's basketball, baseball, or whatever it happens to be, everybody's got their heroes or people that they think are their best photographers, or whether you're best basketball players, baseball, whatever. Do you have any heroes, for a better word, or people that you idolize? I hate to use that word idolize, but somebody that's always interested you thought was a real good photographer, 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, there's a gentleman that photographs the LA Lakers and LA Clippers. His last name's Bernstein, and he's awesome. Bill Frakes, when I was working in Florida, I had the opportunity to work with Bill Frakes. He's a Sports Illustrated photographer, and I assisted him a lot whenever he would come to Michigan to shoot Detroit games. I would hold his camera for him at the Silverdome. And there's just certain people, I guess the people I look up to most are people who I've met that I know that are also good people.
Yeah.
Just because you excel at a sport or have a talent in something doesn't necessarily make you a good, well-rounded person. And so the people that I admire the most are always the real friendly, nice. They're great at what they do, but they haven't forgotten to be a good human being.
So one of the things you look for, besides doing a job, one thing or another, you like to be around what you call good people.
Certainly.
Oh yeah. Well, I've seen a lot of the other way around that do the job, but they're not what you call good people. But Ladies and gentlemen, this is MPLStudio13.com coming to you right out of downtown Millington, Tennessee. We got a lovely little lady, Nikki Boertman, right here. She's a cameraman, woman, excuse me there, Nikki. For the commercial appeal there, she takes all them photos. It's going out to Chuck and Dawn up there in Virginia, and Johnny May in Murfreesboro, and Peter Wang over there in Beijing, and some of my friends over there in Germany. But it goes all over the world, Nikki, so hopefully, as nice and sweet as you are, I hope that you have some type of influence, you know, where some kids that want to get in photography or whatever, you know, call this gal up and tell her I need some help, because she's as kind and gracious as you'd ever want. So Nikki, if some kid came to you and was interested in getting into photography, can you walk us through or kind of give them a little insight to what it would take to be something like you're doing, please?
Well, for me, to get involved in photography, I did internships. It wasn't necessarily my college education. I do have a college degree in photography, but it was really the internships that I did and the people that I worked with in those internships. Just keeping an open mind, being receptive to the guidance that they have, and just trying to be involved whenever you can. People think, oh, I've got to go to a Grizzlies game to get a great sports picture. I have pictures in my portfolio from Little League Baseball. You know, it doesn't have to be the superstars. In fact, if it is a picture of LeBron James, you better make sure that nobody in the world has got a better picture of LeBron James than you. So there's almost a higher standard for the professional sports. So really, whatever you can do, you can get involved with your church, your school, whatever you can to get your name out there, to get your pictures out there. Share your pictures with people, they'll share them with other people, and that's how your name gets out there.
Okay, one thing I didn't get a chance to ask you back there a few minutes ago, I don't even know if you can answer or not, because I guess it's trying to define what is Michael Jordan, but these photographers that you named that you thought were real good, can you explain to where average person could understand what makes them some good photographers? Is there anything, can you explain it, or is it?
It's kind of a difficult thing to explain. They never miss a shot, especially with sports. Sports is a lot of timing. We shoot on arena strobes that we can fire them once every 3 seconds, but we can't motor drive. So timing is real huge, and being able to anticipate the action and anticipate what's going to happen and keeping your focus and being able to move with the players. So the gentlemen that I've mentioned are all really, really good at that. And some of it is just undefinable. It's just kind of something innate. And it's a passion, and they have it.
Okay.
They're wonderful.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to you here, and this little gal's explaining all this to all what a strobe is, and I don't know what an N8 is, but we see it coming down the road. I'll tell you if I've seen it sometime. So, well, how'd you get hooked up with the Grizz?
Well, the commercial field did that for me. Sure, the commercial field, when they found out that the team was coming to town, they wanted someone to come down and cover the team, but they also needed a female on staff because they had just had another female leave. So they called and asked if I would come down. They had heard about me and heard that I was a sports photographer and a female, which was a little more unusual 12 years ago than it is today. I'm always happy to see all the young women on the sidelines of the football games and the basketball games.
But it wasn't like, you know, one thing that's real nice, my wife's crazy about ball, you know, everything, but so you did have a love for sports besides just wanting to make a living as a photographer then, so.
Oh, most certainly. In fact, I didn't really even want to necessarily or ever think that I was going to make a living at photography. I was just happy to not have to get a real job yet.
Oh, good. Good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a song here. We're gonna let her kind of slow down here a little bit. So we're gonna play a little song for you and see if you can recognize this one here. Go back another year or two. In case you don't know what it is, let the good times roll. Shirley Lee. All right, man, let's think about it over the hill right there. That's what it sounded like 50 or 60 years ago.
Feels so good when you're home. Come on, baby, rock me all night long. Come on, baby, let the good time roll. Come on, baby, let me thrill your soul. Come on, baby, let the good time roll. Roll all night long.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, surely let the good times roll. We're letting the good times roll right here with Nikki Boertman down at Commercial Appeal, the photographer that does all the Grizz games. I got a couple of questions there. When you take your pictures, Nikki, who decides what goes in the paper?
It's a really good question. There's a lot of people involved with the newspaper. There's myself. I want a lot of times the best photo to run. There's the reporter who wants the photo to match his story lead, whatever he's talking about. There's a designer that wants the photo that fits the easiest shape for him to put in the paper. So there's a lot of people involved. The best days are when all those things come together, where I have a great shot of the key player. Lately that's been Mike Conley, and last night we didn't run Mike Conley because we wanted to give someone else a little attention. So, but it's one of those things. It's very fluid. Sometimes the photographer gets exactly what they want, and other times we don't. I try to not ask very often, so that when I do ask, it has a lot of impact and I can get the particular photo I want. But typically I pick 7, 8 photos, send them back to the paper, and just kind of let them do their job.
Is that right?
Yep, they're good at what they do. I picked the top ones out and then let them do their job, and I don't get too fussy about what runs on a daily basis.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is MPL Studio 13 coming to you. We got a brilliant little genius. I'm finding out the more I talk to her about. She takes all these pictures and everything. But Nick, if you would, the ball game starts at 7 o'clock. If you don't mind, give us something about your work day, what you do and how you get to when you get the game, and then you shoot at the game. Then something happens. Well, tell us from 4 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever.
Typically I get to the game around 5 o'clock. We get parked, and we have to get there early enough that all the media spots aren't taken. So we get there, get parked, get in the arena, turn on the strobes that are in the ceiling. Strobes are giant flashes. So when I say strobe, that's what we're talking about. But we turn the power on up there and get ready. We have certain pre-game rituals that we have to do. We always eat dinner together at 6 o'clock. Chuck, the equipment manager, and Joe Murphy, the team photographer, his assistant, and I, we have to do this. If somebody doesn't make it to dinner and we lose, it's their fault. So we do that.
Superstitious?
Yeah, well, very much so, very much so. Just like the players, we all have our superstitions. Just like first time out of every game, Chuck, the equipment guy, will drop off 3 pieces of gum. No matter how many photographers are sitting there, 3 pieces of gum get handed out to us from the team. And that's, again, superstitious. One day he forgot until the second time out, and we lost that game, and we didn't let him forget it. So halftime, I'm sending first half photos, and I go back in the media room, upload the pictures onto my computer, caption them, send them to the paper, try to get back out so I don't miss any of the third quarter. And then after the game, same thing again, as quick as possible, get them to the newspaper, captioned and cropped and ready to go. And then I make my Grizz Gallery slideshow for all the Grizz fans in Memphis and all over the place so that they can see.
We don't know anything about that.
Yeah. We make a slideshow with extra photos. Last night we had some popular photos. And in the Twitter world, everybody is so happy to see all those pictures everywhere. And it's, we do what we can, trying to share the pictures and make everybody happy and share the Memphis love.
Now, what time of night is this getting to be?
Oh goodness, depends on the game. There's times I don't get out of there till midnight, 12:30. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So you've been there since at least 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
And get out, so.
Yeah, midnight. I try to get done early enough that my friends that have gone to the game, if they're hanging out after the game, I can still catch them while they're out, but most of the time I don't.
Well, all those, tell the folks out there, 'cause I don't know either, but I see everybody down there as a white line y'all can't cross, so you're supposed to be behind that. Isn't that right, Nikki, or something?
Well, in Memphis, it's supposed to be there's a line, but in Memphis, there's such a small area for us to be that we just can't be on the letters. The letters on the floor that spell Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
We're supposed to stay behind the letters, and we have assigned seats by the NBA, and you sit in your assigned seat, and I sit next to Joe Murphy, the team photographer. I've been sitting next to Joe Murphy for 12 years now. When he first got started, and this just tells you how much you've got to give if you want to be involved, he was driving from Atlanta for every single Grizzlies game and driving home for 4 years. 4 years he did this. So 44, you figure there's usually 44 home games a year. 44 home games he would drive from Atlanta and drive home after the game every single time. And that's where he is. You've got to really be dedicated and really want it and go above and beyond, because there's a lot of people that want to do what you do, whether that's play guitar, whether that's sing, whether that's dance. There's a lot of people. What are you going to do to go above and beyond what anybody else is willing to do? And Joe Murphy is a perfect example of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm learning something there too. I didn't know all that. I mean, I just thought they went down there. Go ahead and laugh, nigga. I just thought they went down there and said, I'll take some pictures, and if y'all like them, we'll put them in the paper. I didn't know all this stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm learning too, so I guess that makes you more unique, more special. I have to thank you again for coming out here. So, ladies and gentlemen, you just got a little touch of it as far as encouragement, one thing or another. So, Josh, let's play another song. Got it right here. And I got a good one coming on here now.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10,
Theme song,
11
Blackboard
o'clock,
Jungle.
We're going to rock around 10 o'clock tonight. Put your strap
Bill Haley in the comments.
We'll have some fun when the first light comes. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2, 3 and 4, if the band slows down, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock When the chimes ring 5, 6 and 7, we'll be right in Southern heaven. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, how we going strong and so are you. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Anybody ever heard that before?
When the clock strikes 12, we'll cool off and start rocking around the clock again. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock
All right, ladies and gentlemen, right there, that was Bill Haley in the comments. As I said, that was the theme song of Blackboard Jungle about 100 years ago, in case some of you forgot about that. Some of you mamas and daddies right there. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the finest little lady here want to make you alive, a little gal called Nikki Boertman. She's a photographer for the Grizz game down there, working for the commercial field. She's between her and Josh Goldman, a genius over here. He takes care of all. He's a director and a producer and the editor and Although I probably don't do too good a job of that, but this other little gal right here, she's a genius too. She's talking about all these strobes and robes and NH and everything else. I don't know what she's talking about, but she's a mighty fine little lady here, and I'm gonna ask her about her equipment. Now, Nikki, what kind of equipment you use?
I use Canon cameras right now. My lens that I use for the Grizzlies game is a 28-300 f4 to 5.6 lens. Shooting strobes in the ceiling utilizes me to allows me to utilize that lens as opposed to f2.8 lenses. Most of the time, all the photographers in the arena will use f2.8 lenses they have to have that extra amount of light. But with using strobes, we can use a little bit smaller equipment and make it a little easier on the body.
Lynn, you and Brenda out there in Gonzales, Texas, y'all know how to do all that stuff. I reckon she just lost me when she made that left turn right there, but she knows what she's talking about. Cause y'all look at the paper at the Grizzlies games, she gets all the Grizzlies, one's falling all over, shooting a grip shot or a jump shot or whatever. Does a magnificent job. So we're all fortunate to have her. But she's trying to help some of you kids that want to get into photography, help you do anything. She's telling how hard you got to work and just don't give up, keep doing it. But I got another little surprise for you. I didn't even know this. A little gal writes a column in the commercial field called Frugal. And she tell you how to save money. That's one I need to talk to. So, Nikki, you're a busy young lady. So tell us what's this Frugal thing about?
Well, it was about 2 years ago. The features editor approached me and said she had an idea for a column, and she wanted to know if I knew anybody like me that likes to look sharp but wants to save money and doesn't want to spend all her money on clothes and everything else. You know, I've got bigger dreams than clothes. I've got bigger things I want to do. So, anyway, so she said, "Do you know anyone like you?" And I said, "Well, goodness, let me think about it." And she said, "Well, okay, well, we really want you to do it." And I said, "Well, I don't know if my editor will allow me." I already talked to him. He said it's fine. So whatever I was coming up with, she had already circumvented all that and had the plan laid out, and she wanted to call it Cheap Chicks. And I wouldn't go along with that. I don't ever want to be called cheap. But we came up with Fabulous and Frugal, and my co-writer and I, we write a column trying to help people save money and live a good life and enjoy life and not feel like you're sacrificing, but save that money so that you can get to where you want to be in the long run, not just in the immediate.
All right, now it's a column now. Tell the folks out there, Nikki, how long does it run? When does it run in the paper?
It runs on Sundays. My column runs every other Sunday, and we began about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So if you have any ideas for me, things that I should write about, be sure to let me know. My email can be found on the Commercial Appeal website.
Well, where do you come up? That's one of the things. Where do you come up with these ideas?
I beg people to give me ideas. No, I'm just kidding. Growing up, my father was really incredibly frugal. That's probably the nicest way to put it. Anyway, of course it frustrated the heck out of me at a young age, but I guess, I learned from the best, and he had lots of tricks and things he would do. Not very many people heard about putting foam insulation in your windows in the wintertime to keep things warm, but I'll tell you, it makes a huge difference. So, but I learned that from him, and I guess when you grow up, seeing somebody come up with all the little crazy ideas they can come up with in their head, that just kind of sticks with you. So I try to pull from that experience, and I've embarrassed my mom and my dad on a couple occasions.
So would you say that you've tried to be frugal most of your life, Nikki?
No, when I first got to Memphis and had this great job and making the money, I just wanted to spend it. Who wants to save it? It's more fun to spend it. So I was just going out and spending money and had to eat out all the time and everything else. But then you start to get to a point in your life where you think, well, I don't want to work forever. I want to have a nice future. I don't have to worry about the economy, worried about getting laid off, and worry about those things. I got to have that nest egg. I got to have that money. I got to have that retirement, and invest my 401k. So, luckily, luckily my spending years weren't very long. And now my saving years are upon us, and I'm having a lot more fun saving than spending.
Is that right?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, who else? Now you said you write. Now who's your co-writer person?
Renita Russell. When we began the column, Renita and I were both writing it. Yep.
Okay. All right. So, how many hours a week would you say that you work, Nikki?
Oh goodness. I don't think I'm ever not working. Yeah, I think that when you do something that you're really passionate about, whether it's, singing, dancing, playing guitar, I don't think you're ever off. I think you're always on. So I like to joke, every day I'm hustling, but it's the honest truth. I love what I do, and even when I'm not working, maybe I'll be watching a movie, but I'm not really watching that movie. I'm thinking about photography. I'm thinking about what I want to do. I'm thinking about what I'm going to write. My mind is always, always, always going on what my passion is.
I can relate to that. Good deal.
Yeah.
Have you, when somebody sends you in a suggestion, for a better word, Nikki, and you say you've never heard of it or something, do you try to check it out before if you're curious?
Certainly, yeah. I don't write about anything that I don't know from experience. Sometimes with the technical stuff, that's hard to do because I don't really have a budget for my column to buy merchandise, but I try to find out if I know anybody who's used that product or no. I try to always make sure things are tested. Yeah. Because we do get a lot of people writing in that want their product plugged or something like that, and I typically those emails with me typically don't get real far because it's important to my readers that there's integrity with the column.
Right. I was just wondering about that. Have you ever had, not to put you, on the spot or anything, have you ever sent out something and somebody called in, and they just said, well, you told me to try so-and-so and it wouldn't work. Have you had many complaints about that?
Not really. The one thing I was really, really shocked at was how many people wanted to make their own laundry detergent. And how many people wrote in and said, well, that's the best thing ever, and I've been doing it this way, and I enjoy it. And then there was one lady, and I said, well, I stopped making the liquid kind. Now I just grate it up real fine and toss it in the washer, just ground up a little soap and borax and all that. And she said, I'm going to try that. I'm going to do that. And so I was really, really shocked at how many people in the area, readers of Commercial Appeal, that wanted to make their own laundry soap.
Yeah.
Well done, people.
Well, yeah. I know one time I had a swimming pool, and I'm not sure what it was, but that stuff you put in there anyway, I could use baking soda, and so I'd go get some of that. I forget what it took the place to shop or whatever it was, but that stuff was high. So I started using soda, and I come to find out, man, I was saving all kinds of money, but I just happened to stumble across that. So, but your mom and daddy in this racing thing, like I was telling you, Clay Milliken up there. Do you follow the drag racing going on TV now, or is that a thing of the past, or what?
I don't. My father still races. My mother gave up racing when she had me. I do not follow it. When I was younger, my dad would bring me to some of the races, but I always felt it was noisy and dirty and everything like that. So I typically don't follow NASCAR. My mom watches NHRA on TV. Or she watches NASCAR. They race NHRA. Yeah. But for the most part, no. I'm more into basketball and football.
Is that your basketball?
I love football most, but basketball is climate controlled, and I'll tell you, shooting pictures in the rain and snow is no fun. So I love climate controlled sports. But other than that, if I'm just going with friends, I love to go to a football game. I love to go to a baseball game.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is MPLStudio13.com coming to you straight out of Milliken. We've been most fortunate today to have the sweetest, nicest, friendliest little gal you ever seen in your life. She's gracious and kind enough to come out here, and Josh brought her out here to give you, hopefully, a little info on if you want to be a good photographer. And Nikki, we're gonna get out of here in a few minutes, but all the kids, or maybe not even, maybe you don't have to be a kid, but an adult, if they had a passion like you do, and they want to do something, what would you give them advice to?
Just to never ever give up, and always just try to get yourself out there as much as possible. Like I said, whether it's photographing things for your church or your school, or a community center in the area, whatever you can do to get yourself out there, playing music for your church, just getting your name out there, getting recognized, letting people know about your passion, because people can't help you out. They can't offer you a job, they can't offer you work if they don't even know about your passion. So the more you can publicize yourself, get yourself a little website or Twitter or whatever you want to do, and share that with people, because there's a lot of people out there that want to help. They just don't, they're not going to be able to find you if you don't put yourself out there. So you just kind of got to embrace your passion and go for it, and be willing to work harder than anybody else if you really want it.
All right, if you want Nikki to help you, go on there and look on Frugal every other Sunday. You got her email address, and you can tell after you see us, little gal, she'll help you do all she can. She had so many people up her and everybody else out there. If you want something, kids, go for it. Just don't, somebody tells you can't do something, that don't necessarily make it so. So if you want something, you got passion, just like Josh, there's a gene, all this computer stuff, I can't without him. And so Nikki gives advice right there, and it comes from the heart. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to about wrap it up here. We appreciate everybody tuning in. You're going all over the world, MPLstudio13.com. Nikki, we really appreciate you taking time to come out here. You're a mighty fine young lady, and a great little representative, of course. One thing about it, young lady, you're a great representative of your mom and daddy and your family. So thank you so much, Al. I know they're proud of you. We got the Ravens right here going to write you a letter from 1948. I'm going to tell you right now, the clock on the wall says it's about time to get out of here. So,
I haven't been
don't care where you go.
since you said goodbye.
You're going to have to leave here. You don't have to go home.
Yes, I
The Ravens, get us on out of here, and we're going to sing a little bit. Just go wherever you want to. I'll see you next time. God bless you for listening. Stay with us. We'll talk to you later. So good day, everybody.